All right, so this is the COBOL CTF. So to get here, go to samsclass.info, and there's a link right at the top to get you to the COBOL CTF. And I'm just going to have brief demonstrations. Mostly you're going to be solving challenges. Now, for most of this, we are going to use an open COBOL running on a Linux cloud server, which in fact compiles COBOL to C and then C to assembly to source code. So it's basically simulating it. But anyway, you set up a Google Cloud server, which is a free server from Google. All you have to do is sign up for an account with a Gmail address and a credit card, and then you will get a Debian server in the cloud. So that's what I've got here. And now you can write COBOL after you install the COBOL compiler on it, which is this thing here, Open COBOL. So once you've got it, you can now write COBOL code. Now, the point of COBOL, by the way, I highly encourage you to use the tutorial. Everything I know about COBOL, I learned from these tutorials, and I think the first one is my favorite. This is a simple step-by-step tutorial that shows you the reason, what's going on with COBOL. I heard about it decades ago when I started in computing, of course, but I never used it. I used the older product, Fortran, but I heard about COBOL. And the point of COBOL was an idea from Grace Hopper that you would write complete English sentences using complete English words as a programming language. That was the bright idea starting in 1959. And one thing about it is this strange, you have this program structure, these sections in your program, and it was originally designed to be written on Hollerith cards that had this layout. The first 6 digits are for the numbers. The 7th one is the indicator for a comment. And all real coding starts in 7 or 8. I thought it was at 7, but anyway. So, for example, if you make hello world, here's the first hello world that I put in here. So your program is just a few lines of stuff. You have an identification division. Notice the structure. You have complete words, and then you have periods at the end of sentences, as opposed to modern languages where you'd have curly braces or something. So an identification division, then you have the program ID, then you have the procedure division, which includes executable code. And you would have variables in a separate section, but I don't have any of those. So this is hello world. It will print hello world, and then stop run is the exit command. So you compile that thing. So that is the first one here. You compile that thing with this command, COBC free -x. Now the free means this is actually sort of modern bastardized COBOL using free format. So this is the, you can compile it in free format, and then when you run it, it will print hello world. But if you were to try to compile that without the free format switch, then it will fail. And the reason it fails is because without the free format switch, it actually expects you to be formatting the thing correctly according to this setup where you use these columns. So I made one like that. Here's the fixed hello, the wrong way that won't compile. And here's the fixed one. You have to indent everything. Skip the first 6 spaces. Looks like I skipped the first 7. Yeah, first 7 spaces. And then you have to have everything over here. And there's even a, we'll see later on, a real mainframe, there's another statement you should have 4 blank spaces here. And I don't know if that one's enforced, but you certainly can't put anything here other than line numbers and a mark here to turn the 7th spot is to indicate comments. That's the fixed format, which we are not going to use much until we get to the real mainframe. So let me just give you a general overview of what's going on here. We have the basic COBOL, then we do some string handling and some file I/O, and there's a series of challenges to solve here. And these are all things you do up through lesson 7 on your Linux server. And then you can use a real IBM server if you like. IBM, for some ungodly reason, provides a public server and free accounts on it. For an IBM I server, you can make one. It is kind of mind-boggling because you have to get a special tool because it doesn't even use standard telnet. And by the way, it doesn't use ASCII. This is all EBCDIC. This is so old, it's before ASCII and before Telnet. So there's a special version of Telnet you have to have. And then you can control this server with this kind of text-only environment. And you can control it by making choices off a menu like this. And there's even a GUI for it now for real developers, where you have to get this thing called Rational Developer that is a huge Windows-based product, and it costs like $800. And you get like a temporary trial of the Rational Developer account, and then you'll get a GUI based on Windows where you can use this Java-based GUI system to write code like that that is written as if it was going on Hollerith cards. It is very strange mixture between the ancient and the modern. But anyway, that's the story. And you folks should just start solving challenges. They'll find step-by-step instructions here. And if you get stuck, ask us questions. Elizabeth is here with me, and I have a couple other people maybe joining later to help you. This is not supposed to be a serious CTF where you struggle and compete to win so much as a training tool. Although some people do like to score high. Some people are moving along here. When you solve a challenge, like if you go to the basic COBOL one, you get hello world working. And once you do, you can find a flag. So you execute a command, the green box covers a flag. So this tells you which challenge you solved, CBL 1.1. And so if you go up here, you can submit a flag. You choose your flag number and just put in your name and the flag value. And then you get points on the scoreboard. I see Irvin's here with the DEF CON flag, great. So you can contact any of us if you want help. People I see are moving along. And I'll record little videos demonstrating things as we go along. I think I'll stop this one and post it.